Hey there, YouTube land. Big Dave here. So I have a little extra time today, and I'm sitting here watching the dog because my people went out, and so I thought I want to make a video about playing some more like modern kind of stuff, hipper stuff, um, getting more into that maybe like funky kind of zone or whatever it is, and um, that kind of thing. So the first thing is you want to try to have in your mind um, some kind of a sound or a song that has something in it that interests you or has a concept. That's the idea, you know? You're hearing something. I remember way back in the 70s, and I was at a hot dog stand, and I was driving a 65 Plymouth. And we only had the AM radio. There was no FM. I didn't have one. So, and the station you listened to around here was like you could listen to ABC, and they were playing this. What was the name of that song? A Leo Sayer song, "When I Need You," something like that. It had a sax solo in it, and I remember. And now, right now, I can't remember who the person was that played that, unfortunately. But you could look it up and see. You could even listen to the song Leo Sayer, "When I Need You." And there was a sax solo in there. And I remember, so the year is like 1977, something like that. Because I could put this kind of together. And there was something about that sound that I heard that I connected with. And I said, oh yeah, I like that, whatever's going on. And I wish I could, sound like that. And then Grover Washington, he was, just the two of us and other stuff that was around back then, his other things, because don't forget this is the 70s, right? And what else was out there? Carly Simon and David Sanborn played on some of those tunes. So I would hear these different sounds, and I was interested in having something like that. And I remember I was playing an alto. I had a really nice Mark 6. That was dumb. I sold it, It would be worth like 12 grand today. But I had a really nice, like, 5-digit Mark 6 that was in mint, absolutely mint condition. And I used to play a Meyer on it, and like a 4 Meyer. And then I went out and got like a 5-star or a 4-star real hard level air, because that's what David Sanborn was playing on, so I needed to have that vibe. And I wanted those upper notes, and I started playing it with a 4 reed, which was like, it was almost like, it was unreasonable. And I also remember going to this, there were a lot of bars back then, and my friends all had different bands, and I would go hop from one to the other and visit. If I wasn't working a gig, because we had so many gigs then, you could work 4 or 5 nights a week. Anyway, so I was in this one place that I remember, and I'm, playing this Sanborn stuff, and I was starting to get into that vibe, and I thought it was good, So that was probably the first time I connected with that type of thing. But anyway, so let's talk about some lines and things like that. I'm going to take my horn out here. I didn't take the horn out ahead of time because I wasn't really working with this. Whoops. I just realized I don't know where the neck is. This is not good. I don't really know where it is. It looks like it fell in there somewhere. I got it. It's probably bent or something. I got it. So yeah, you want to try not to bend your neck, because it's not really the best thing. And then it gets to be like, weird after you have it fixed. This neck is good though. This is not bent or anything like that. But you want to try to, you shouldn't pick your horn up by the neck, and especially now they use more copper in the horns, so the horns are softer and they bend easier. Some of them, not all of them. I mean, some of them are made of other alloys, and they're doing. I still use this one strap. Another thing is I've been using the plastic hook. I have the metal hook, but I end up clunking it into the horn and making more scratches and stuff like that. So we need a mouthpiece, right? This is just 105. I've been using this recently for different things. I'm not going to wet the reed. We're just going to play dry right now, and we'll just see what happens. This is a 105 Berg Larson. It's a 105 over 2. But this has been worked on by Phil Engelman, who's a great refacer, and a great mouthpiece guy. But this is one I've been working with recently. I have my other pieces that I use. So anyway, I'm not going to... This is reed, it's kind of dry. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so there it is. Dry reed and all. So what I think is, take a little line, like B to D, and just work with like that small phrase. And I'm going to an E. So I'm going B, D, D, E. Right? Played in another register. And you'll hear the timbre, the timbre is different, of course. It's a whole different thing. But you can still find it in that one little direction. I'm only playing 3 notes. I'm trying not to make this too complicated. You could do a little answer, too. So I went up to an F, I went to an E, I turned it around on the top and came back down. And, the thing, too, is you got to be generous when you're playing these. And generous doesn't mean that you're, like, clamping down, biting on your mouth, because that's going to kill the sound. You have to learn to, like, let the sound blow free, open. This is not tight, I see so many people, they got all this tight. You're not going to get a big sound that way. Or it's not even big sound. The reed is just not going to vibrate. It's because it's a reed that's too hard. This is a Rigotti 3 Light. So, and there I used a half tongue. I played the note, put my tongue against the reed, and then took it back off. And then I used my larynx, my tongue, to drop the pitch down, and I loosened up a little bit here. It's kind of like a harmonica, You watch the harmonica lessons that are on there about dropping the notes, bending on a harmonica. It's the same kind of thing. So... So I'm using like a connected kind of thing, going from like a B flat to B up to the G. And also my vibrato is a little bit wider than I might use for something else. It's more it's more separated. It's not that tight kind of vibrato. If you go into the overtones, I don't know if I can. So I went up to a B, which is this key here, and the D key and the octave key. I went to the C, back to the B, into the A. Now I'm doing some little scoops on those. I'm doing that with my lip. I'm kind of getting in and off on the reed. And I'm also swallowing the vocal sound like as if I was swallowing food.